UCLA head coach Jim Mora coming off his first Pac-12 Media Day. It's a little hot out here. How are you feeling? How are you feeling overall?
It was good. It was a good day. You know, it was fun to see everybody. It was, for me, having worked in the media, I got to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while.
You're one of us, Coach.
I was. Seeing the other coaches and seeing some of the great players in the Pac-12,
Yeah.
It was a fun day.
You know, you come from the pro level, and there are all these kind of, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Not hurdles, but there are all these introductory things. You know, you have your first practice in charge, you have your first press conference, all this kind of stuff. Your first Pac-12 Media Day with all these other coaches and all that kind of stuff. Describe kind of what it's like to sort of be part of this fraternity now. You know, this whole coaching thing is one big fraternity, but this is one, you know, it's fraternity within a fraternity.
Yeah, it's much different because, you know, in the NFL there's 31 other coaches, and now you're part of a conference where there's 12 coaches, so you're one of those 12. You have 11 contemporaries. And I don't know these guys as well as I knew, obviously, all the coaches I competed against in the NFL, but it's fun to get to know them. A lot of interesting personalities, obviously very talented football coaches, most of them offensive guys. I look forward to, and I've enjoyed getting to know them. And for me, though, it's what I like seeing the players.
Yeah.
You know, I like seeing our players interact with other teams' players. I like getting a chance to see Keith Price, who I haven't seen in a few months. You know, I got to know up at Washington, or seeing what Matt Barkley, how he interacts with the media, some of these other kids, and it's just a good learning experience.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned that you like to be able to see the players and all that kind of stuff. We just kind of talked about this. You know, you're college coach for the first time, and so this summer, it's almost like a summer off from the players as well in some cases.
Yeah.
Talk about what that's been like, kind of relinquishing that day to day. You know, I know exactly where, what step they're taking and what that's been like.
You know what, for me, it hasn't been too bad because I have such tremendous faith in Sal Alosi, our strength and conditioning coordinator, who's the best in the business. And he and I are in lockstep in terms of, what we want this program to be. I have tremendous faith in him. We've known each other a long time, and I know that our players are in the best of hands when they're with Sal. So, it's always, coaches are control freaks, so it's tough to step back.
Yeah.
But it's not as tough having Sal Alosi as it would be if I didn't have him on our staff. He's just a tremendous, tremendous addition to the UCLA football program.
You know, when you think of the fact that they didn't have a football dedicated strength and conditioning coach, now they have, and that the guy that they have is Sal Alosi.
At best.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. When a lot of people, when they think of you putting together a new head coach, putting together a staff, who's his offensive coordinator, who's his defensive coordinator, that's all they think about, that's all they care about. Was Sal and this position specifically, even if it went to someone besides Sal, was this really one of your main, like, we need this guy to be with me? I imagine you being pretty...
I think that's a great observation that a lot of people have failed to make, is that this is the guy that is with your players more than anybody in the program, more than I'm with him, more than the assistant coaches are with him, because he's got him through the summer, he's got him through the off season, he's got him through the season, he's got him year round, and his impact and his influence on them is profound. And just having a guy like Sal Alosi, who, like I said, I know so well, is so highly regarded, is such an expert in his field, is innovative, is always looking for the best way to do something, is a great thing for myself, it's a great thing for UCLA, and it's a great thing for UCLA football.
Yeah.
And that position is as important as any position on your staff, maybe the most important position on your staff.
You know, you mentioned earlier the steps about creating your own identity. That's something that you really stress, is we're not doing anything with the past, it's starting from scratch. Going to San Bernardino is obviously it's a major step for this program in terms of the whole attitude, mentality, and yet you said this is not going to be a Junction Boys.
No.
This is more for these guys to really understand what it's like to be a team.
Yeah.
You've had 30 years of experience coaching teams before. Is this where it begins on that field? Come the beginning of August, is that really where you get this team, and is that why you did it?
I think that's where it starts to really galvanize.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it started.
It's a good word.
But it all really sucks together in that time. Because you're under an immense amount of pressure at that time. The season's about to start. The game's there. You can't postpone it. And it's just important for us to to be together. You know, I'm not saying that we have to do this every year. I just think this year it's really important for this team to be a little bit isolated from the distractions that may be there had we stayed home. It gives us a chance to depend on each other, you know, for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's going to be a conversation, that conversation is going to be either with a teammate or a coach.
Oh.
If I'm going to have a conversation, it's going to be with a player or a coach. If we're going to go do something, we're going to go do it together. We're going to work hard together. We're going to laugh together. We're going to have fun together. We're going to do team building together. We're going to get to know each other. And I think what's going to happen is then when there's times during the season when you really need that guy and he really needs you, you can count on each other because you know each other. You've been through stuff together. And I don't think you can duplicate that unless you're away.
Yeah.
So it's not about creating toughness. It's not about junction boys. It's not about 100-degree heat, although I don't mind the heat. That's not a primary objective. It's about creating an environment we can bond as a team.
Yeah. Last couple things I have for you is this is kind of like the beginning of the year. This is like hunting season starts, Pac-12 Media Day. Are those juices starting to kind of form for you? You know, are you kind of like, all right, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this.
Yeah. You know, I was telling you earlier. I think I always dreaded the start of camp because it's such a drastic change from what you've been doing. You know, typically in the NFL, you're on vacation, then boom, you go to camp. Yeah. You know, and the season is, you know, it's 100 hours a week. I mean, it's what it is, and it can be really, really daunting. And in the past, I've always like, oh God, I just wish we had another week. And it's just a completely different feel for me this year. I can't wait to get going. You know, I can't wait. I know it's time away from my family. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard. I know there's going to be obstacles, but I can't wait because I'm so excited about this football team. Because I'm excited about them because the kids on the team and how anxious they are to go and how responsive they've been to the things that we've asked them to do, and the look in their eye and their eagerness to be a good team. And you know, I think that I don't know that a chip on their shoulder is the right word, because I don't know that they have a chip on their shoulder, but I think that they are anxious to prove to people that they're a good team. I think they're anxious to prove to people that they're a tough team. I think they're anxious to prove to people that they're a group of young men that can overcome adversity and that can handle success. And I'm anxious to see them do that.
I was going to ask another question, but sometimes it's just you get the answer and you're good to go. Jim Mora, UCLA head coach. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.